The Hero from a Universe Next Door Part 4. The following day, Mara's gaze was peaceful. For the first time in weeks. No missing livestock. No frightened farmers. No rumors of monsters. No bandits. Just peace. And somehow, peace felt strange. The families had begun to heal. The guild was smiling again. And life had returned to normal. Meanwhile, Mitchell Kelly sat alone. The forge was quiet. The afternoon sun filtered through the windows. And the old anvil stood waiting. But Mitchell wasn't working. He simply sat. Thinking. Far above, Mara smiled softly. "What's wrong?" Another creator god looked downward. Oh. He remembers. And Mitchell did remember. Not the battle. Not the victory. But, wham! Sapphire crashing into the tree. Sapphire! Her lying there. The fear. The tears. And the horrible thought that he might have lost her. Mitchell closed his eyes. No. Quietly. Almost whispering. Never again. Far above, Mara sat upright. And smiled. There he is. Slowly, Mitchell stood. Walked toward the rack of iron ingots. And smiled. Let's fix that. Meanwhile, at the Shale home, Sapphire sat smiling into her tea. Lillian noticed immediately. My baby. What? Nothing. Mother. Yes, sweetheart? You're smiling. Am I? Yes. William lowered his newspaper. My dear. Yes? Behave. I am behaving. Which terrified him. Because smiling Lillian was dangerous. Then, knock. Knock. Sapphire's ears immediately perked up. Which either parent missed. Lillian smiled. William smiled. Sapphire noticed. What? Nothing. No. You're both smiling. William immediately hid behind his newspaper. Lillian opened the door. And smiled brightly. Mitchell! My boy! Good afternoon, Mrs. Shale. Mitchell stood there. Smiling. And carrying. A wagon. Lillian blinked. William blinked. Sapphire blinked. A wagon? Mitchell smiled. Oh. I needed supplies. Why? He smiled innocently. I'm making something. Far above, 21 creator gods froze. Mara dropped her tea. Oh no. Another creator god smiled. He's building. Sapphire's ears twitched. Something? Mitchell nodded. Something important. And somehow, though she didn't know why, that answer made her smile. Because one thing had become certain. Whenever Mitchell disappeared into his forge, wonderful things happened. And sometimes, terrifying things happened. William adjusted his glasses. My boy. Yes, Professor Shale? What exactly are you making? Mitchell smiled. Not sure yet. Silence. Absolute silence. William slowly removed his glasses. My dear. Yes? I fear for reality. Lillian burst out laughing. And poor Sapphire simply smiled. Because somehow, she trusted him completely. Far above, Mara folded her arms proudly. Good. Very good. And now, she smiled warmly. Let my champion build. Long after sunset, the forge remained alive. Clang. 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 The sound echoed throughout the night. Far above, Mara smiled. He's remembering. Another creator god nodded. The Eden. And they all understood. Because inside the forge, Mitchell remembered. Sapphire. Her body striking the tree. Her blood. The fear. The tears. And the horrible thought that he had lost her. He quietly whispered. No. Never again. Then he stood. And smiled. Better equipment. Mitchell opened his bag of infinity. Inside, rows of neatly organized materials: iron, steel, coal, charcoal, leather, hundreds of useful rocks, and coffee. Because priorities. He reached inside and withdrew several iron ingots. Then, microalchemy. The iron changed. Silver. Brilliant. Beautiful. Mithril. The mythical metal. Insanely rare. Lighter than aluminum. Stronger than legends. And Mitchell simply blinked. Huh! Neat! Far above, Mara spit out tea. He made mithril! Another creator god screamed. Like it's iron! Clang. 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 Hour after hour. Mitchell worked. Fold. Shape. Quench. Enchant. Fold. Shape. Quench. Enchant. Every strike of the hammer. Another enchantment. Every breath. Another rune. Every spark. Another blessing. Because he wasn't creating armor. He was making a promise. A blacksmith's promise. And slowly, the armor took shape. Elegant. Beautiful. Deadly. The form Sapphire preferred. Light. Flexible. Functional. Beautiful. Strong. Graceful. Just like her. And Mitchell smiled. I think she'll like it. Without even realizing it, he continued enchanting. Elemental attacks. Lightning. Fire. Cold. Wind. Instead of harming the wearer, they would disperse. And become healing energy. Poison? No. Never. Immunity. Strength? 5 men. Speed? 10 times normal. Agility? Supernatural. Dexterity? Supernatural. And finally, flying would be useful. Far above, 21 creator gods froze. Mara slowly stood. No! Another creator god whispered. Mitchell! Please! And with one final enchantment, golden amber runes spread across the armor. Beautiful. Warm. And 2 radiant wings appeared. Constructs of pure energy. Capable of carrying the wearer through the skies. 100 miles per hour. Mitchell blinked. Oh. Pretty. And with a smile, placed the finished armor upon a stand. Then yawned. I wonder what it does. Far above, Mara fell over laughing. He doesn't know. The following morning. Knock. Knock. William Shale opened the door. And froze. My boy! Mitchell stood there smiling. Good morning, Professor. Behind him, covered by a blanket, was something. William adjusted his glasses. What have you built? Mitchell smiled. Not sure. Poor William. I fear those words. Inside, Sapphire entered. Mitchell? And froze. Because beneath the blanket, something beautiful gleamed. Silver. Elegant. Magnificent. For me? Mitchell smiled. Well, I remembered the Eton. And immediately, Sapphire's smile disappeared. I don't. You got hurt. I know. I didn't like it. Silence. So, he scratched the back of his head. I made armor. Poor Sapphire. Critical emotional damage. Fatal. Mitchell. And her ears became purple. Completely purple. Lillian quietly wiped away tears. My boy. William's eyes became wet. Because he understood. This wasn't showing off. This wasn't pride. This was love. Even if the handsome idiot didn't know it yet. Then Mitchell smiled. Oh. And I named it. Sapphire blinked. You named it? He smiled proudly. The Valkyrie armor. Far above, Mara smiled. Good name. Another creator god nodded. Very good name. William adjusted his glasses. Perhaps we should identify it. Mitchell smiled. Good idea. And somewhere, very far above. Mara smiled mischievously. Oh, this should be fun. The Shale home had never been so quiet. Upon the table rested the armor, the Valkyrie armor, silver mithril, beautiful, elegant, covered in glowing amber runes, and somehow warm, almost alive. Professor William Shale adjusted his glasses. My boy. Yes, Professor? What exactly did you put into this? Mitchell smiled. Good intentions. Poor William closed his eyes. My greatest fear. Lillian laughed. Sapphire giggled. And Mitchell simply smiled. Then William sighed. Very well. He placed both hands upon the armor. Ancient runes appeared. Blue circles. Symbols. Magic. And he spoke. Identify. The room glowed. The runes danced. Information flooded into his mind. And William froze. His eyes widened. His glasses slipped down his nose. And his face turned white. Lillian blinked. Dear? Sapphire blinked. Father? Mitchell smiled. Poor William slowly lowered his hands. Then looked at Mitchell. Then at the armor. Then back at Mitchell. My boy. Yes? What? Have you done? Far above. Mara spit out tea. He said it. Another creator god burst out laughing. The professor's catchphrase. Mitchell blinked. Good? William pointed. Good. Good. My boy. This thing is an artifact. Silence. Mitchell blinked. Oh. That's nice. William nearly fainted. That's nice. Lillian hurried over. What is it? William swallowed. Then read. Valkyrie armor. Legendary artifact. A masterpiece forged from mithril and enchanted beyond mortal understanding. Everyone froze. Elemental absorption. Incoming lightning, fire, cold, and wind attacks are converted into healing energy. Lillian gasped. Good heavens. Complete immunity to poison. Sapphire blinked. What? Before an attack lands, the wearer's skin hardens like steel. Mitchell blinked. Oh. Useful. Poor William ignored him. Strength equal to 5 trained men. Passive. No mana cost. Sapphire's eyes widened. Combat speed increased tenfold. Passive. Supernatural agility and dexterity. Passive. Lillian covered her mouth. My stars. William continued. Then froze again. No. Far above. Mara stood up. Oh. Another creator god laughed. He found the wings. William looked horrified. No. My boy. No. Mitchell blinked. The armor can create radiant amber wings. Silence. Absolute silence. Sapphire froze. Lillian froze. Mitchell froze. And William whispered. 100 miles per hour. Lillian screamed. Sapphire screamed. Mitchell blinked. Oh. Neat. Poor William exploded. Neat. Neat. My boy. Kingdoms would go to war for this. Empires would collapse for this. This is not neat. Far above. 21 creator gods collapsed laughing. Mara had fallen out of her chair. Neat. Poor Sapphire simply stared. At the armor. Then at Mitchell. And suddenly, her eyes became wet. Because she understood. Every enchantment. Every rune. Every hammer strike. Every sleepless hour. Had been born from one thought. Never again. Never again would she suffer like that. Never again would he stand helpless. Never again would he almost lose her. And somehow, that made her heart overflow. Mitchell. Why? He blinked. What do you mean? Why make something this incredible? Mitchell smiled. Because you got hurt. Silence. And poor Sapphi's ears became completely purple. You made all this because I got hurt? I didn't like it. So I fixed it. Critical hit. Heart damage. Fatal. Poor Sapphi had tears in her eyes. And Lillian? Poor woman openly cried. William removed his glasses. Not because they were dirty, but because his eyes were wet. My boy. Yes, Professor? You truly are terrifying. Mitchell smiled. Thank you. That wasn't a compliment. I know. Far above. Mara wiped away tears. My champion. Another creator god smiled. He loves her. Mara smiled warmly. He just doesn't know it yet. And poor Sapphi? Looking at the handsome idiot who had casually forged a miracle for her. She had reached one terrifying conclusion. She was in trouble. Because she was absolutely, hopelessly falling in love. The Shale home was quiet. Very quiet. On the table, the Valkyrie armor gleamed. And poor Professor William Shale was already drinking tea. Not because he wanted tea. Because he needed tea. My boy. Yes, Professor? I have taught magic for 40 years. That's impressive. I have studied artifacts. I have read ancient texts. Very educational. And never have I seen anything like this. Mitchell smiled. Oh. Good. William closed his eyes. That's my greatest fear. Meanwhile, poor Sapphi stood frozen, looking at the armor. For me? Mitchell blinked. Of course. Who else? Critical hit. Heart damage. Fatal. Purple ears. Maximum purple. Lillian quietly smiled. My baby. And William smiled. Because he knew. His daughter had fallen. Completely. And honestly? He approved. Very much. Eventually. Mitchell smiled. Would you like to try it? Sapphi nodded. Why, yes. And moments later. She emerged. Silence. Absolute silence. Mitchell froze. William froze. Lillian froze. Far above. 21 creator gods froze. Mara stood up. Beautiful. Another creator god smiled. Very beautiful. The armor fit perfectly. Elegant. Light. Graceful. As though it had always belonged to her. Sapphi blinked. It weighs almost nothing. William adjusted his glasses. Because it's mithril. Move around. She nodded. Then stopped. Her eyes widened. I feel. Fast. Mitchell smiled. Oh. Good. And poor William looked upward. Good. Good. Of course. Then Sapphi blinked. She gently jumped. And nearly hit the ceiling. Everyone screamed. Except Mitchell. Oh. Neat. William nearly fainted. Neat. Far above. Mara had fallen over again. He said it. After several minutes. Everyone calmed down. Mostly. And then William swallowed. There remains one final ability. Everyone froze. The wings. Poor Sapphi blinked. Wings? William nodded. Concentrate. Imagine flying. Imagine freedom. And slowly. Amber runes glowed. Warm. Beautiful. Gentle. And then. Two magnificent wings of radiant amber light unfolded. Silence. Complete silence. Lillian cried. Immediately. My baby! William removed his glasses. My stars! Far above. 21 creator gods stood. Mara had tears in her eyes. Like an angel. Another creator god smiled. Like a Valkyrie. And poor Mitchell? Mitchell simply stared. Because for the first time, he truly saw. Not just Sapphi. But Sapphi smiling. Happy. Safe. Healthy. And beautiful. Very beautiful. His brain stopped. And poor handsome idiot accidentally said, "Wow." Sapphi's ears immediately became completely purple. What? Mitchell blinked. You. He scratched the back of his head. Look really pretty. Critical hit. Fatal. Poor Sapphi. Smoke nearly came out of her ears. And Lillian? Poor woman quietly sat down. William caught her. My dear! She's beautiful. Yes, dear. And he said it. Yes, dear. He called her pretty. Yes, dear. Meanwhile, Sapphi simply stared at Mitchell. Because she knew. He hadn't said it to flirt. He hadn't said it to impress her. He'd said it because he meant it. And somehow, that made it infinitely more precious. Far above, Mara smiled proudly. My champion. Perhaps. His handsome idiot brain is finally beginning to wake up. And somewhere deep inside Mitchell's heart, a tiny voice finally whispered, Sapphi is beautiful. Sapphi is precious. Sapphi matters. And for the first time, without understanding why, the thought of losing her terrified him. The entire village had gathered, not because anyone had planned it, but because news traveled quickly, and because everyone wanted to see what terrifying thing Mitchell had accidentally created this time. Professor William Shale adjusted his glasses. My boy. Yes, Professor? Promise me. No dragons. Mitchell blinked. I wasn't planning to. William sighed in relief. Far above, Mara spit out tea. He wasn't planning to. Another creator god laughed. Which means he's absolutely going to accidentally make one someday. Meanwhile, an old horse stood nearby. 20 years old. Arthritis. Bad knees. Stiff joints. And one eye that wasn't quite looking in the right direction. Sir Trotsalot. Sapphi smiled. He's adorable. The old horse snorted proudly. Mitchell smiled. He needs a good retirement. Then he reached into his bag of infinity and pulled out a wooden box. William froze. My boy. Yes? What is in the box? Horseshoes. The professor sighed in relief. Oh. Good. Then Mitchell smiled. Flying horseshoes. Poor William nearly collapsed. Why? Lillian burst out laughing. And Sapphi giggled. The old dwarf laughed. Ha! Of course. Guildmaster Boren looked toward the heavens. Mara. Please. Sir Trotsalot blinked. The old horse had long ago accepted that humans were strange creatures. Mitchell knelt beside him. Let's see. 1 shoe. 2. 3. 4. Then he smiled. There. Perfect. Sir Trotsalot snorted, as if saying, Good. I require apples. Then, Sapphi's wings of amber light unfolded. Everyone stared. Because standing beside the old horse was a beautiful dark elf with radiant wings. And even after several minutes, William still had tears in his eyes. My baby. Lillian hugged him. She's beautiful. She really is. Then Mitchell whistled. Sir Trotsalot's ears perked up. And he smiled. 1 second. He reached up, pulled an apple from the tree, and fed it to the old horse. Crunch. Sir Trotsalot closed his eyes happily. Then Mitchell gently rubbed his neck. Good boy. And Sapphi noticed it. The glow. Warm. Golden. Gentle. Mitchell's hand. Mitchell? What are you doing? Heel. The light spread. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. Just gently. Like warm sunlight. And slowly. The scars faded. The old joints straightened. The stiffness disappeared. The cloudy eye cleared. The tired muscles strengthened. And the old horse became young. Strong. Healthy. Happy. Sir Trotsalot blinked. and looked down at himself. Then looked at Mitchell, as though asking, "Really?" Mitchell smiled. "You deserve more happy years." And Sir Trotsalot rubbed his head against him. Sapphi's eyes became wet. Because once again, he had done something wonderful. Not because anyone was watching. Not because he wanted praise. But because he wanted an old horse to be happy. And somehow, that made her love him even more. Though she still wasn't ready to admit it. Then, golden lines appeared around the horseshoes. Two magnificent wings of golden energy unfolded. Everyone screamed. Except Mitchell. "Oh. They work." Poor William removed his glasses. "No. No, they do not. Horses do not have wings." Sir Trotsalot looked behind himself. Blink. Blink. Then looked at Mitchell. As if asking, "Can I keep these?" "Sure." The horse neighed happily. Then, Sapphi smiled. "Race you?" Mitchell blinked. Before anyone could react. Whoosh. Sapphi shot into the sky, laughing. And Sir Trotsalot immediately accepted the challenge. Whoosh. The flying horse launched after her. Entire village. Then everyone burst out laughing. High above, Sapphi laughed. Not polite laughter. Not nervous laughter. Pure joy. And beside her, Sir Trotsalot performed loops, neighed triumphantly, and challenged her to a race. "You're cheating." The horse ignored the accusation. Because he was a horse. And because he was winning. Below, Mitchell smiled, watching them. And somehow, seeing Sapphi laughing, seeing Sir Trotsalot young again, seeing everyone smiling, made him smile. Because this was happiness. Far above, Mara wiped away tears. "My champion!" Another creator god smiled. "He heals old horses." Mara laughed softly. "And gives wings to beautiful girls." "Good. Very good. And hide the pies." Because Sir Trotsalot had discovered the bakery. High above Mara's gaze, Sapphi laughed. Not polite laughter. Not nervous laughter. Pure joy. Beside her, Sir Trotsalot performed another loop, neighed triumphantly, and challenged her to another race. "You're impossible!" The horse ignored the accusation. Because he was winning. And because he was a horse. Eventually, Sapphi slowed, and looked down. At the village. At the people smiling below. At Sir Trotsalot. And finally, at Mitchell, standing below, smiling, watching her. And suddenly, something inside her heart became clear. All the little moments. The nickname. The Eden. His tears. The healing. The forge. The books. The armor. The horse. Everything. And suddenly, Sapphi understood. Oh. And then she smiled. A beautiful smile. Because for the first time in her life, she knew exactly what her heart was saying. Whoosh. She landed. And before anyone could react, she ran. Straight toward Mitchell. He blinked. And then, whump. She threw her arms around him. Everyone froze. Completely. Mitchell froze. The old dwarf froze. Borin froze. William froze. Lillian froze. Mara froze. 21 creator gods froze. And Sapphi buried her face against his chest. Laughing. Crying. Completely happy. And without thinking. Without planning. Without even realizing what she was saying. She smiled and said, "I love you, Mitchell." Silence. Absolute silence. The world stopped. Sapphi froze. Purple. Maximum purple. Her eyes widened. I. Mitchell! I didn't. I mean. Wah! Poor Sapphi tried to run. And immediately discovered something important. Mitchell was hugging her back. Tightly. And he wasn't letting go. She blinked. Mitchell's brain had stopped. Completely. His handsome idiot brain had blue-screened. Far above, Mara whispered. It's happening! Another creator god whispered. It's happening! 21 creator gods held their breath. Mitchell blinked. Once. Twice. 3 times. And then, very quietly, he smiled. Not his normal smile. Not his cheerful smile. But a soft smile. The kind reserved for precious things. And he gently rested his head against hers. Sapphy? Her ears twitched. Yes? I've never been very smart. Entire heavens. That's true. But, he smiled. When you got hurt, I cried. When you laughed, I laughed. When you smiled, I smiled. And when you flew, I was happy. His arms tightened around her. And when I thought I lost you, his voice trembled. I was terrified. Sapphy's eyes became wet. Because she could hear it. He still didn't understand. Not completely. But his heart did. And finally, the handsome idiot reached the finish line. Oh! His eyes widened. Oh! Far above, Mara stood up. Another creator god stood up. 21 creator gods stood up. And Mitchell whispered, Oh! I love you too! 21 creator gods exploded. Mara fell out of her chair. The old dwarf dropped his mug. Lillian screamed. William needed emergency tea. Boren openly cried. Mrs. Higgins fainted. And Sir Trotsalot. Sir Trotsalot stole a pie. Because he had priorities. And poor Sapphy? Poor Sapphy simply smiled. Because somehow, the handsome blacksmith from another world, who built grills, who organized infinity, who cried when she got hurt, who healed old horses, who donated books, who defeated 12 bandits with a rock, and who somehow made her happier than she'd ever been, loved her. And she loved him. And for the first time, neither one had to wonder anymore. Far above, Mara wiped tears from her eyes. My champion! My daughter! And she smiled proudly. Good. Very good. And now, she grinned mischievously, let's see what kind of trouble a couple gets into. Eventually, the crowd dispersed. Sir Trotsalot had been bribed away from the bakery with 3 apples. Mrs. Higgins had recovered from fainting. Guildmaster Boren had stopped crying. Mostly. And Professor William Shale had consumed enough emergency tea to survive. The sun had begun to set. And quietly, Mitchell, Sapphy, Lillian, and William returned home. The house was peaceful, warm, safe, and somehow different. Because something had changed. Not in the house, but in 2 hearts. Lillian smiled. My baby. Poor Sapphy blushed. Mother. What? Nothing. William smiled. My daughter. Sapphy smiled. Yes, father? He chuckled. I think your mother and I need to ask a question. Mitchell blinked. William smiled warmly. What are your intentions? Poor Mitchell froze. Far above, 21 creator gods froze. Mara sat upright. Oh! Another creator god whispered. The father question. Sapphy immediately turned red. Father! William laughed. No, no. Not that. Not yet. Poor Professor nearly choked. By the stars, not yet. Lillian burst out laughing. My dear. Yes? You nearly killed yourself. William smiled. I simply mean. What do you two want? What kind of relationship? What kind of future? Silence. Mitchell blinked. And then smiled. Not his usual smile. But a gentle one. And he looked at Sapphy. The beautiful dark elf. His Sapphy. And somehow, the answer seemed obvious. I want it to be permanent. Silence. Complete silence. Sapphi's eyes widened. Lillian covered her mouth. William froze. Far above, 21 creator gods stood. Mara dropped her tea. Permanent! Mitchell scratched the back of his head. I mean, I don't know much about relationships. But, he smiled softly, I don't want this to end. I don't want us to drift apart. I don't want to wake up one day and not have you beside me. I like hearing you laugh. I like spending time with you. I like working together. I like eating together. I like talking with you. And, he smiled, I think I want to do that forever. Critical hit. Heart damage. Fatal. Poor Sapphire had tears in her eyes. Because somehow, the handsome idiot had said the most romantic thing she'd ever heard. Without realizing it. And she smiled. Through tears. And held his hands. I want that too. Mitchell blinked. You do? She laughed softly. Yes. I want us to be permanent. I want our relationship to last. I want to travel together. I want adventures together. I want to come home together. I want to grow old together. And her ears became purple. Maximum purple. I want forever. Mitchell's eyes became wet. Because somehow, that sounded wonderful. More wonderful than anything he'd ever imagined. And quietly, he hugged her. And she hugged him. And neither wanted to let go. Lillian openly cried. My baby. William removed his glasses. Not because they were dirty, but because his eyes were wet. My boy. Yes, Professor? Welcome to the family. Mitchell froze. Then his eyes became wet. Really? William smiled. Really? And Lillian? Poor Lillian hugged both of them. Immediately. My children! Mother! My dear! What? They need air. They have plenty. Far above, Mara wiped away tears. My champion. My daughter. And she smiled proudly. Good. Very good. And now, she grinned mischievously, let's see what kind of trouble two hopeless romantics can get into. And somewhere outside, Sir Trotsalot stole another pie. Because some things never changed. The following day, the Adventurers' Guild was crowded. Word had spread. The heroes of Mara's gaze. The couple of the flying horse. The pie bandits people. Several villagers had insisted on the last title. Emily smiled. Clara smiled. The old dwarf smiled. Mrs. Higgins smiled. Guildmaster Boren sat quietly, looking very serious, which frightened everyone. Because serious Boren meant something important. Mitchell. Yes, sir? Sapphire. Guildmaster? Come here. The two walked forward, hand in hand, which caused Emily and Clara to silently squeal. And the old dwarf to grin? Boren stood and opened an ancient wooden box. Everyone froze. Because everyone recognized it. The Mithril box. Not opened in over 50 years. Mitchell blinked. Sapphire blinked. The old dwarf sat upright. No. No. Boren. No. Guildmaster Boren sighed. I know. Emily whispered. He isn't. Clara whispered. He can't. Mrs. Higgins clutched her chest. The entire guild hall became silent. And Boren spoke. Normally, promotion requires decades. Normally, silver rank, gold rank, platinum rank, then, mithril rank. Normally, everyone held their breath. But, he looked at the pair. Mitchell Kelly, Sapphire Shale, you two have accomplished more in weeks than most adventurers accomplish in their lives. Silence. You have saved lives, protected the innocent, returned the dead, shown compassion. shown mercy, donated wealth, and have become examples of what adventurers should be. His eyes became wet. And he smiled proudly. I am proud of you. Then he opened the box and withdrew 2 badges. Pure mithril. Winged. Beautiful. The entire guild gasped. No. No. He isn't. Borin! The old dwarf stood. Are ye insane? Borin nodded. Probably. Then he smiled. By the authority vested in me, I hereby promote Mitchell Kelly and Sapphire Shale directly to mithril rank. Absolute silence. And then chaos. What? Impossible! They skipped 4 ranks. That's never happened. Emily burst into tears. Clara burst into tears. Mrs. Higgins fainted. Again. The old dwarf simply removed his hat and smiled. Ha! About bloody time. Far above, 21 creator gods screamed. Mara fell over laughing. They did it! Another creator god wiped away tears. The children did it. Mitchell blinked. Mithril? Sapphy blinked. Mithril? Together? Borin smiled. Together. Then quietly added. And don't make me regret this. Mitchell smiled. We won't. Sapphy smiled. We promise. Then Borin grinned. Good. Because. He pointed toward a map. Only 4 other mithril rank adventurers exist. Everyone froze. And frankly, he laughed. You 2 are going to leave those poor bastards in the dust. The old dwarf burst out laughing. Ha! Ye ain't wrong. Far away, in distant kingdoms, 4 legendary mithril rank adventurers sneezed. One blinked. I suddenly feel threatened. Another looked around nervously. Why do I hear hammering? And standing there, hand in hand, wearing matching mithril badges, Mitchell and Sapphy smiled. Not because of fame, not because of glory, not because of rank, but because they were together. And together, they could face anything. Far above, Mara smiled proudly. My champion! My daughter! And she grinned mischievously. Let's see how the world handles these 2. That night, long after Mara's gaze had fallen asleep, one forge remained alive. Clang, clang, clang. Far above, Mara smiled. He's building again. 21 creator gods shivered. Hide. Mitchell smiled. Sapphy is stronger now. Normal weapons won't survive. That won't do. And with that, the handsome idiot reached into his bag of infinity and withdrew more iron. Then, microalchemy, silver light, and once more, mithril. Far above, Mara spat out tea. He's doing it again! Hour after hour. Hammer blows rang through the night. 2 beautiful short swords. Perfectly balanced. Elegant. Made for Sapphy's style. And as Mitchell forged, he enchanted. Without realizing how absurd things had become. Left sword. Instant casting would be useful. And mana costs are annoying. Far above, 21 creator gods screamed. No! Right sword. 10 times stronger spells. Useful. Another creator god fainted. Then, a bow. Beautiful. Graceful. Mithril. No draw resistance. And yet, 1,000 pounds of force upon release. And energy arrows. Rangers need options. Mara buried her face in her hands. Why are you like this? Finally, Mitchell paused. I should probably make something too. And so, he forged a great 2-handed sword. Simple. Beautiful. Powerful. Not because he wanted glory, but because he planned on staying beside Sapphy. Forever. The next morning, Professor William Shale blinked. My boy. Yes, Professor? What? Have you done? Sapphy giggled. He said it. Lillian laughed. My dear. Yes? You always say that. Because he keeps doing things. And once again, William cast identify. The room glowed. His eyes widened. His glasses fell. No. No. My boy. No. Mitchell blinked. There is no HM. William pointed at the left sword. All spells. Instant cast. No mana. Unlimited use. Silence. Mitchell smiled. Oh. Convenient. Convenient. William pointed at the second sword. Tenfold amplification. Tenfold. Lillian sat down. My stars. Sapphy simply stared. Then William looked at the bow. And froze. No. Far above. Mara stood. Oh dear. Energy arrows. Capable of shattering stone. 1,000 pounds of draw strength. Attuned. Only Sapphy receives the enchantments. And then. Poor William broke. Completely. My boy. Kingdoms would go to war for these. Empires would collapse. This is madness. Mitchell smiled. Useful, though. William pointed wildly. Useful. Meanwhile, poor Sapphy had tears in her eyes. Because she understood. He had made these. Not because he thought she was weak. But because he planned on fighting beside her. Always. And somehow, that made her happier than anything. Later, after William had consumed emergency tea, after Lillian had stopped crying, after everyone had calmed down, Mitchell and Sapphy sat together on the couch. Close. Comfortable. Happy. And William smiled. My children! Both ears perked. He smiled. Be happy. That's all your mother and I want. Lillian smiled warmly. And no rushing. You have your whole lives ahead of you. Sapphy smiled. We know, Mother. Mitchell smiled. We want forever. Critical hit. Poor Lillian cried again. My baby. And then, without thinking, Sapphy leaned closer. Mitchell blinked. And softly, very softly, she kissed him. On the lips. Silence. William froze. Lillian froze. 21 creator gods froze. Mara froze. Per Mitchell froze. Brain.exe stopped. Then, he smiled. And kissed her back. Gentle. Sweet. Warm. And somehow. Perfect. Far above. Mara exploded. The first kiss. Another creator god fainted. On the couch. Sapphy smiled. I love you. Mitchell smiled. I love you too. And William quietly smiled. My dear. Yes? I think they'll be all right. Lillian rested her head on his shoulder. They're going to have a beautiful life. Outside, Sir Trotsalot stole a pie. Because some things were eternal. The following morning, the Adventurers Guild smelled wonderful. Fresh coffee, eggs, bacon, toast, pancakes, and Mrs. Higgins' famous sausage gravy, which had started more than one fight among adventurers. The old dwarf raised his mug. Ha! Victory gravy! Emily laughed. Clara laughed. And Guildmaster Boren simply sighed. Please don't call it that. The doors opened. And immediately, half the guild smiled. Because Mitchell and Sapphy had arrived. Hand in hand. Per Emily quietly squealed. Clara smiled. Mrs. Higgins wiped away happy tears. And the old dwarf grinned. Ha! Morning, lovebirds! Poor Sapphy turned purple. Mitchell smiled. Good morning. As oblivious as ever. Rolling on the floor laughing. They sat beside Boren. And breakfast began. Sapphy smiled. Mother packed extra biscuits. Mitchell blinked. Oh. Nice. She said you forget to eat. Accurate. Face with tears of joy. Guildmaster Boren smiled. She's already mothering ye. Poor Sapphire nearly hid under the table. Then, boom! The guild doors burst open. Everyone jumped. Standing there, covered in dust, sweating, exhausted, was a messenger. Guildmaster! Boren stood immediately. What is it? The man swallowed. Varden. Silence. The old dwarf lowered his mug. 10,000 people. A week's ride east. The messenger nodded. The city requests aid. Why? His face became pale. Goblins. Everyone frowned. Goblins? He shook his head. No. Goblins and gnolls. Silence. Complete silence. Emily froze. Clara froze. Mrs. Higgins froze. The old dwarf slowly lowered his mug. Boren's face darkened. How many? The messenger swallowed. Thousands. The room went silent. A scouting party spotted them. An army. Marching. They'll reach Varden in about 1 week. Several adventurers gasped. Thousands? Impossible. No. Worse. The messenger looked sick. Goblin wolf riders. No warbands. Ogres. And... His voice trembled. A hobgoblin king. The room became deathly quiet. The old dwarf whispered. By the gods. Guildmaster Boren clenched his fist. If Varden falls... 10,000 people. Women. Children. Families. Silence. And then... 2 chairs moved. Mitchell stood. Beside him. Sapphire stood. Hand in hand. Both wearing their mithril badges. Mitchell smiled. When do we leave? Silence. Everyone froze. Boren blinked. My boy. There are thousands. Mitchell nodded. Then we'd better hurry. And beside him. Sapphire smiled. We'll need supplies. We have supplies. We'll need arrows. We have arrows. We'll need Sir Trotsalot. Mitchell smiled. Of course. Rolling on the floor laughing. And suddenly, the guild relaxed. Because everyone realized something. The heroes of Mara's gaze. The couple of the flying horse. The pie bandits people. Had spoken. And somehow, everyone felt hope again. Far above, 21 creator gods stood. Mara smiled proudly. My champion. My daughter. Another creator god frowned. A hobgoblin king? Mara's smile became dangerous. Then let him come. He marches toward my children. And my champion. Her eyes glowed. Has never been very reasonable when people need help. And somewhere far to the east, upon a black throne of bones, the hobgoblin king smiled. Unaware that his army marched not toward prey, but toward Mitchell Kelly. And that, perhaps, was the greatest mistake of his life.